Hello everyone, this here is the LEGO Ninjago Sora's Transforming Mech Bike Racer set. It has 384 pieces and I paid $48 US for it, an odd number. This was built live over on my Twitch channel with all the wonderful folks who have joined me over there from the YouTube side. I do regular streaming there. 5 days a week at the very least. Definitely a good place to hang out. This comes with 3 minifigures plus a single little animal. I'm going to start with a look at the main thing you're here for. The first impression this thing gives me is unhealthily positive. So I do have to declare my bias there. Just, at first glance, I like the look of it. I like the look of it a lot. This color scheme is fantastic and it has very strong late 80s to early 90s good Japanese mecha anime vibes to it, and just anime in general. Very, very strong. Got a little bit of that Akira kind of feel, but it also has some Macross, Gerwalk kind of look in it. But it just, the colors, the dark blue, the white, and the coral, and not even a tiny amount of the coral, plenty of the coral. That all works so well to me. Visually, definitely biases me in favor of it, but I can get past that and talk about the features of it and the build experience. Also, you notice it got the ears over here. That's kind of Sora's thing to have the cat ears going on. You got the cat theme with it. It does use a fair number of stickers, for all the parts where you see what do they call it? Markings, I guess, graphic details. It's all done with stickers on this, pretty much. It looks pretty consistent all the way around the back here. The tops of the legs don't look so great, but otherwise, this is fairly presentable from different angles. The worst thing about this is definitely the use of the pre-bent knees that do not have any additional articulation there. That really, really limits what you can do with this posing wise. You also don't really have any ankle articulation, except the whole front of the foot is able to move, and that works because even though I've got the legs spread right now, I'm still able to get the toes to be flat to the ground. These are on ball joints. So whatever angle I choose for those, I can make it work. You also have these ball joints that are widely offset for the shoulders, which looks awkward around the back, but you know what? These are very useful pieces. They let you get maximal articulation here, and the elbows are able to bend too. So, you're able to get some stuff to happen with this. You got a little bit of, I can rotate this around and kind of have a slashing motion going across with these, forearm weapons, which are optional. You don't have to put those on there, but this works out pretty well. You also have shooters here. So you got your guns on either side. It shoots out transparent, dark pink colored tiles. You got a bunch of those. The canopy shape works for me until you look at it from the side. Oh, when I first put this on, I was so deeply disappointed because from so many angles, all the marketing materials show this looking good. I mean, look at that. It looks really good. But then from the side, it pains me. That really that was shockingly bad to me how open it is on the side. I am sorry to see that, but as soon as you turn it just a little bit, you don't see that anymore. So I do end up having to forgive it. I just want to point out that I definitely had a negative experience initially putting that on. These things are great. You can change the angles of them, and when you widen them up here like this, you can see it kind of hides the joints, which is really, really smart. Hides those skinny joints, but I didn't want to completely hide that from you. I wanted you to see how this is actually done, but this is effective enough, and then from many angles, you're not seeing that. Pretty good design work there. And as you can see, this has the 3 of the heavy and well-working wheels that are dual molded with the tire on the wheel itself. They're heavy and they have a lot of momentum. This one just is able to move back and forth, and it's got that little bit of rattleness to it. Doesn't feel so good, but it's actually okay because at least it works. Now, what I can do is tighten these up a little bit. I'm going to pull these off for right now. Tighten these up. Bring the flags down. Close this up. Bring these back. Bring the legs back, and then bring the toes up as well. Make sure this is all tight together. Pretty much, and that's it. That's the transformation. That's the bike racer form. Now I can put these in here as well. They got just a couple little holes put that straight in, put that straight in, and this is its ground mode. It's racer mode. This is intended to be a the Ninjago equivalent of a pod racer for the Dragon's Rising season. Now, when this is closer to the ground, especially in this mode, I think you get a little bit closer to a point where you can see this gap much easier, and it's worse like that. The more you can see it, the worse it is. But this thing is super stable. It still has the right vibes to it. It still has the good feeling. The color scheme still works out. This is a completely different form of the thing. Completely different form, but the balance of colors is still really, really good. It has good movement, has that nice rake to it. These knees kind of, gosh, that just reminds me of a GoBots figure that I think, did I have or did I want? I know I had the GoBots attack helicopter. I don't remember if I had the bike. I think I did not have the bike, but wanted it. Just so still a lot of good feelings. And again, I am biased because of my age, and this kind of speaks to me, even though it's not made for folks my age at all. It's made for kids. I think that it is a perfectly fine toy, though, and I think that even in today's world, this color scheme can be appreciated, and I think that it works out just from a visual design perspective. The inside of the cockpit is so simple. It could not be more simple. Put a figure in there, lean him back, and close this up. That's it. A little bit on the disappointing side. They could have put something in there for some detail, but that's just it for this thing. It doesn't look as good. Well, it definitely looks worse from the side. That's its worst angle right there because of this, and then also back here got a hole. But otherwise I'm generally very happy with this. The other build is just a bad guy flyer that uses not a whole lot of pieces, so that's good. Being able to get something that can be seen as, just imagine, okay, bad guys are extra strong. They've got extra weapons. They might be a little bit more maneuverable. They kind of cheat on the battlefield a little bit. And so this feels like it can be enough, with the right pilot, it feels like it can be enough of a threat on the battlefield to be something for the much larger and much more involved mech build to still have to worry about. And yet it doesn't use a whole lot of pieces. It uses a minimal number of pieces to good effect, I think. And you can turn these forward if you want, so that can be used as an attacking, sorry about inking things on my fingers. I've been building Gundam mechs and such today as well, but yeah, it's just another thing you can do. Plus you can use these weapons, you can take them off. So that comes with the baby Ryu, the little dragon in sand blue, which is an excellent little mold. Just one single piece, pretty good printing on it, but really, really nice design. I think the amount of shape and movement that's built into it, even though it's just a static one-piece thing, the pose of it kind of raked forward, it looks like it's raring to go. It really captures the essence of the personality of the character, I think, in a really good way. So for a one-piece thing, I think this is also done well, but some articulation, of course, would have been better. At the very least, I think the hind legs, being able to put it onto a studded base and then have it rearing up would have been nice. The minifigures are Sora, RN, and this is Rapton over on the right. The situation with the weapons is interesting. Rapton has that new dual molded sword piece, which is great, but this thing really threw me off when I first saw that when I was building it live over on Twitch. I called it a whip axe because, well, it's 100% a whip piece, a rubber whip piece with an axe head at the end, right? So you use it like a whip, but it has an axe blade, double-bladed axe there. But it's actually supposed to represent the grappling hook. It does not read as a grappling device to me. Surely you can use it as one. It's much more fun to play with than a stud shooter with a grappling hook piece in the end of it. The latter would have been more believable, more realistic, but this is a lot more fun to play with. Surprised they actually came up with a new mold just for that. But you can grab onto things with that, you can swing it around, it's flexible, it's not going to break, and you can make it look like the character is climbing as well. So sure, I'll take it. And that is a bar-sized end piece there if you want to stick it into something or stick something onto it. I need to take a bunch of stuff off. This is obviously dual molded right here for the hood, but I need to take a bunch of stuff off so you can see more of the prints. The prints that are there are very good, in my opinion, especially for Sora with that print for the arm there. Really, really nice arm printing. It's pretty much top quality. I mean, you could have wrapped around a little bit more, but what is there is really good. Everything here is good. Everything here I think is pretty good. A little bit simplistic. Everything here is much higher end. No side printing for Rapton, but unlike Arin here, Rapton does get, here, got to boing, bend that around and funk. There you go, let it go. Rapton gets an alternate face, a useful alternate face. Sora also gets a very useful alternate face, but none for this guy. The one thing that I will say here is I thought that I could forgive there being no hair pieces included for the Ninja this time around. You know, they were just doing it consistently, which was fine and all, but that's not enough for Sora. The blue ends up looking like hair, and we need that glorious coral colored hair. So definitely, if anybody from Lego happens to watch these videos, like, that looks weird, okay? But this just doesn't work, and the coral is a must. So I've decided, after going back and forth on it, trying to figure out if I could be okay with it. I'm not okay with Sora not including the hairpiece. At the very least, that character needed it because it's a glorious, glorious color. And yeah, we just should have had that consistently so that she could run hood down, in my opinion. Finally, these are the leftover pieces, and you have so many extra tiles in there, the little round ones, the transparent ones, because there are a total of 8 tile shooters in the set, so you need to have 1 spare. Lego will always include at least 1 spare for each, and then you get a spare of each color. Beyond that, and this is what the sticker sheet looked like. It's a number of stickers, a non-zero number of stickers, but I feel like they're really valuable stickers in this case. And the color match, thankfully, is not bad. The registration of the die cut is off here, obviously. Actually, oh, is it rotated? Interesting, because these are a little bit better down here, but this was not good. These are clearly not good. Yeah, it's just a little bit off. Oh, might have even been a little bit of warping along the way. Maybe they're moving it too fast. But yeah, I would like to see the die cut registration improve again, because it's definitely getting farther and farther off. It's one of the things where quality is going down, and a lot of people already hate stickers. I don't generally. I rather like some of them, but I do need them at least to be good quality with good color match. The color match here is fine, but the offset is not good. That line should be the same thickness as this. That side should be the same thickness as this. And when there are lines inside the details, it starts to matter. You can really see it on the finished product. Again, the price here is $48 US. It's 48 euros, 43 pounds UK, and $60 Canadian, which is about $44 US. Part count 384. If all that you care about in life is price to part ratio, well, you're done. You're over this set. You don't even care about it because, well, again, the only thing you care about is price to part ratio, and it's not great on this one. Thankfully, as you know, I stopped treating price to part ratio as the main important point of reference for value quite a long time ago because A, inflation is a thing. It's not an excuse. It's a fact. And B, hey, you can have an amazing price to part ratio, but if almost all of those parts are 1x1s, 1x1 like plates and modified plates and tiles and such, and you end up with this tiny thing, well, okay, who cares what the price to part ratio is if the amount of stuff you get is terrible for your dollar. I think that the amount of stuff, the price to volume of stuff ratio here is okay. You know, relative to some other things at a similar price point that I've liked. You know, you look at this being competitive with like the small Boba Fett Starship, which was excellent. I think there's a little bit more mass here in total than that set. This form of the mech in the bike form is larger than I thought it was going to be. In mech form, it's right at the size that I thought it was going to be. Maybe even just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit smaller. So all in all, I think that this is just a bit expensive. I would love personally to see this at 40. Yeah, 40. So they would probably ask like 45 or something like that. Bring it down to 40, and now we're in a very comfortable range. So we're not too far away from what I would like to see. And I think by today's standards, this is not badly priced. Most importantly, thankfully, the thing itself is very, very, very good. The price, the age recommendation for this is 8+, which I'm surprised about. As far as build complexity is concerned, it could have been like, I think it could have been like 7+. I think they could have pulled it back just a little bit. It's not too complex and definitely not frustrating to put together. And I think for that suggested age range and everything, I think we're in a good place design-wise and compromise-wise, except for that gap underneath. It's the only thing that does bug me, that definitely bugs me. I wish it was not there. Otherwise, I'm happy that this exists, and I would love to see this turned into an entire theme. I like that style, that braveness of high contrast color scheme to be applied elsewhere. Like this takes what they started with Prime Empire, where Prime Empire, I think, had tended to be a little bit more simplistic, a little bit more consistent, a little bit more safe. I think this takes it farther, refines it even more, that look, that feel, that soul, and takes it in a very, very good direction. I would love to see more things come out of this like that. It also feels original enough. Yeah, some throwbacks to older things, older themes, older IPs, but it's original enough, and it works well as a toy. So yeah, all in all, positive experience here. Would love it to be just a little bit cheaper. And quality, got to get quality. Always push for higher quality because we are paying premium prices for these sets. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.